What's going on, everyone? My name is Tom from Dreadlabs, and today we're going to look into this project.
Dreadlabs.
Right, so this is a candy machine that I made during my Creatober challenge. The prompt was the word machine, and I thought let's just do something different than something industrial. So my girlfriend suggested doing a candy machine or a gumball machine of some sorts. So a couple of people on my YouTube channel actually commented and they wanted a tutorial on this, so I thought let's just do a project breakdown and I'll try to explain how I made this. So basically I made this thing in Cinema 4D and Octane Render. So what I started out with was making a smiley for the candy. So basically I wanted to do like an ecstasy vending machine instead of like a gumball machine, and I wanted to drop out little pills. And what better way to represent ecstasy than the original smiley, of course. So yeah, I made this smiley in Illustrator. I think it's pretty straightforward. If you don't know how to make a smiley like this, I have a tutorial on my channel on how to do this in Illustrator. You can check that out. But yeah, basically I saved this up as a Illustrator file. There is a certain way how you can open Illustrator files in Cinema 4D if you don't know. So if we save this as, we'll save this up. And before you actually click OK on this, make sure that you save it as an Illustrator 8 file. If you click OK, now you will be able to open this in Cinema 4D. Let me just zoom out of the camera here. And we're just gonna go back to the basics. Basically, I'm just gonna shut off the pill and the candy machine and the whole scene here. Right, so this is the pill that I made. Basically, pretty straightforward actually. Right, so what I started doing was extruding the smiley shape that I made in Illustrator. Basically, just brought it in, put it into an extrude. So made sure that the offset was 15 centimeters, so it was pretty broad. Then I basically copied this and made sure that it was expanded. And then I made a bool. So what's basically happening here is I have a very, very flat cylinder, which I called pill. And I have this symmetry smiley. Basically, if I turn off the symmetry, you can see that it's just the smiley that I just made in the extrude here. The reason why I made it into a symmetry object is basically so that I can push it out of this little cylinder on both ways. So if I wouldn't do that, let me show you what that would look like. It would just punch it out on this side and not on this side. So yeah, with the symmetry, basically I made sure that it will be pushed out of this little coin thing from both sides. And this leaves us with one pill. Alright, so the next part is getting the pill into a cloner. Right, so the cloner that I used was a grid array, and you might have already guessed it if you are familiar with Cinema 4D. Basically, I have a ton of these smileys here, and I used a randomizer to randomize the position and the rotation so that they will be looking more natural, because obviously you're not going to see candy like this in a candy machine. So basically I made a full giant block of these candies. And as you can see, these are overlapping, which causes them eventually to push each other away and bounce around inside the bowl that is the candy machine. So then I modeled this candy machine. In the time-lapse you can kind of see how I did that. I don't really go into that too much because I feel like that's, modeling is a whole different part of this. So yeah, if you look closely, you can see that there's like a slide going on. And this slide is basically used to push all of the candy out. I did make sure that all of the candy was inside of this little bowl, I guess, because I wanted the simulation to go smooth. So yeah, if you have never worked with simulation, I'm still pretty new to it myself as well. So there was a little bit of a trial and error for me, but what I did was I gave the pills inside the cloner a rigid body tag. So I gave the candy machine a collider body. Basically meaning that all of the candy smileys will basically clash with one another or with the candy machine. So if you play this, this will take a while, but as you can see, they kind of like explode and go all the way. And the reason for that is because they were also inside of each other. And if these are rigid bodies and they are colliding with each other, they just bounce away from each other, because in real life that's also not possible. Basically they are clipping, if you're familiar with video games. And then basically I made sure to collide so that they wouldn't be falling out of the glass here and basically falling onto this slide onto the floor, because I also had a floor setup. So yeah, what's happening is basically they will all fall out of the machine here. So let me just show you real quick on how to create something like this. So we're making a new project, basically having all of these guys here. So yeah, you probably go about this far setting it in the cloner. So we'll just randomize these by going here. We'll make the rotation inside the randomizer 360 degrees, so they will rotate in every possible way. And then selecting the pills in the layer menu, I'm gonna go right click, simulation tags, rigid body. And now if we play this, took me a while, but they will fall down. And basically what I use to make sure is that there will be something to collide them with. So let me just move this cloner up real quick, and I'll put a plane down. And in this plane, I'm gonna go to simulation tags collider body, which basically now means that all of these pills will collide with the floor here. So if you play this, as you can see, all of the candy coins, I guess, are falling off the plane here, subjecting to gravity. So yeah, if we go back to our original project, that's basically what's happening here. But instead of only using the floor, I also use this candy machine as a collider body. Other than that, I used a couple of octane textures, nothing too special actually. So there was this surface, but I actually decided to make it invisible for you guys, so you can only focus on the candy machine. But this will also give this a very cool reflection inside of the glass instead of nothing. But yeah, basically this is how I made this candy machine. I hope it was clear. This is the first time I've done any like project breakdown. So if you have any specific requests, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer them. So if you want to get the project file for this, you can actually find it on my Patreon. If you become a part of the inner core member, you'll get access to all of the Creatober project files from 2021, as well as access to all of the other project files from my tutorials, a 15% discount in my asset web store, and an exclusive Discord role. So yeah, if you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description. And like I said, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, or you can join us on Discord. And with all of that being said, this is Tom from Dreadlabs tuning out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.